Hi everyone, Vicky Verley here. We are going to take a look at the full moon chart of June 2nd. I just want to take a quick minute before I start. A couple readings ago I brought out that chart of my friend who passed, and a lot of you were asking about it. And I regretted that I even did it. I usually don't like to get that personal with these videos, but it was just such a shocker. I know I never did find out what happened to him other than he died at home. And but the thing that I did find out was that he died on April 15th. Which in 1998 my dad died on April 15th, that exact same day, so I thought that was pretty. I haven't even looked at both years. It doesn't really matter, you know, he's gone. And I didn't really get anything. Well, I actually did get a little confirmation. I was in a traffic jam and my radio wouldn't change channels. My little buttons stopped working. So I was stuck listening to this one station and in a traffic jam too. And then finally the song Spirit in the Sky came on. And I kind of felt like that was a message for him. Although Mississippi Queen by Mountain would have been the song that I always think of him. But enough about that. I never did find out anything. There was no obituary in Florida where he lived, or up here where he's from in Ohio. You know, there was just nothing. I called down there. But the shocker kind of was April 15th. What a, you know, not a coincidence. What a synchronistic event. Anyways, so if all of you that were condolences, I really appreciate that. A lot of you had the questions, and instead of going through and answering each one, I thought I'd just make a quick announcement. Now, back to the business at hand, which is looking at this full moon chart on June 2nd, 12:19 p.m. Eastern. So here it is. You know, a lot of the same things are going on that were going on in the last reading. But I think it might even be a little bit more intensified to some degree. The moon itself is at 1149 Sag, so almost 12 degrees Sag, opposed the sun at Gemini. And I talked at length about this opposition of this Sag and stuff last time, so you may want to go back and watch the last video. What's going on now, though, Saturn has come in. Saturn seems to be the big player here. You know, Saturn... It's going 0, which is almost, you know, it's a critical degree as well, and it's going to hit the 29 Scorpio. So these karmic things, this is a full moon, so it's going to bring things to light. So it can be bringing through some of these karmic things, you know, that we have dealt with, or in retrograde maybe that we haven't dealt with. You know, so we're going to, maybe there could be an element of going back over things. Or I'm not sure when it was. It was last year for sure when Saturn was in Scorpio, you know. You can look that up on your own. But it's Saturn. It's karmic. Saturn in Sagittarius, and the full moon's in Sagittarius. So Sag, well, it's travel and all that stuff, but it's religions. I wouldn't be surprised if some kind of thing came up with some kind of religion thing. You know, some of these religions, maybe something really good, you know, but maybe not, you know, maybe not. Saturn is also these long-standing, old-time things that have been going on for generations and generations, and the patriarchy and all that kind of stuff. So it's not quite an orb. I mean, it's 11 degrees out, but the moon's going to pass through there, you know, a little before that. It's involved. I would say that energetically it's involved, even though it's not, you know, the moon isn't, it's 11 degrees out. But so Saturn, you know, it's the breaking of the old paradigm. It's the elder ways. It's the maverick energy of the Sagittarius, of the new way of thinking, the new way, the philosophy, the forward thinking, the future. You know, the going deeper, the thinking, thinking before. Again, I want to say a strong emphasis on thinking before you speak, because Gemini is speaking. You know, think before you speak. Mars is definitely an orb with that too. Your words can hurt. This is a lot of going over what I said last time. I don't want to be repeating everything, but there's a lot of that. And then there is also this Lilith Chiron opposition, which is also I talked about last time too, but that's a lot of that victim stuff. Chiron's the victim, and Lilith is the champion. Lilith is the powerful person, the person who's not going to be the victim, who's going to not be quiet about it, who's going to stand up for themselves. What was I going to say? Oh, also Neptune is squaring this full moon. at 9 Pisces over here, square 11. So it's a square to Neptune. So again, we can be in that the words could be mistaken. The words could be, you could say something you didn't really mean to say. It could be taken the wrong way. And with Mars, there could be aggression in there. And Neptune is, we don't see it clearly sometimes. You know, with this Mercury, this is Mercury's over here. It's also squaring, and it's also conjuncting these, the Sun in this full moon. You know, Mercury is the expression, communication. Neptune is spirituality. For somebody who's creative, this could be some cool stuff too. I mean, there's always a positive, there's always a negative. So it could be confrontational because you hear it the wrong way. You could say something when you're buzzed. Those of you that party or drink or would get high or whatever, you know, you could say something stupid when you're buzzed. You know, like that never happens, right? No, but it could like piss somebody off here with the Mars here. So you know, watch that. Or you know, you could let a secret out. A secret could slip. You could slip and accidentally reveal something to somebody, and not even. And I'm feeling like with this, it could even be like something that happened a while ago. Like time has passed a long time ago, and all of a sudden I knew, you know. I knew that happened, and then getting all pissed off about it and getting all, you know, in an uproar. Seems to be a lot of energy of getting in an uproar here. There's a lot of that, and then there's a lot of the energy also of the breaking free of the old paradigm because of the Saturn and Sag. And the Gemini is very much a youthful, you know, it's the new, it's the youthful, it's the child. So there's that, and it's siblings. I mean, you can go to the traditional astrology stuff there too. Not only that though, it's right on with the nodes here too. The nodes are just about at 8 degrees, 758. So the actual full moon is trining the south node and sextiling the north node. And then of course the sun is trining the north node. So it's Saturn, the nodes, we're always getting into karmic territory here. That's always karmic territory, that's always... But you know, sometimes with the nodes and that, things could be just syncing up. It could just sync up all of a sudden. You know, the node is always your path in life. So when your nodes are activated in an individual chart, in somebody's personal chart, you know, things could happen that soulmates show up. And not just lovers, you know, people that the right people show up, the right circumstances show up, things happen like that. So that could be going on. You know, there could be things that are happening now are meant to be. I know your whole life you could say that about every single thing that happens, but it's like there could be some really synchronistic events kind of clicking into place here. You know, that's what I'm feeling like, the combination lock, or on the Wheel of Fortune, it's sometimes I'll say, you know, just clicks into place. That the circumstances are right for meeting of people and communication of people. And like-minded people coming together and having, you know, what is that? The few and the many or something is coming to mind. I'm not getting it quite right. Or there's power in the many. I'm not sure. What else we've got going on here? We still have Juno and Jupiter over here in Leo. See, this is a really nice time for creative expression. That's the way you could really use this energy to do something positive. And spirituality. Spiritual growth. Many of us could have like a big breakthrough, spiritual moment here. Maybe involving Chiron and Lilith about old wounds and stuff, but maybe not. Definitely with Gemini, and this is like a new way of thinking of things, a new way of looking at things. Getting your mind in line with your heart or your ideals over here too. I would say that this new moon, full moon, excuse me, is also trining Jupiter too. So you get the expansiveness of Jupiter in Leo through fun, activities, romance, love, by not taking things too seriously, being more lighthearted. You know, not getting in the Mars zone of getting pissed off over every little thing. And that could be Mars and Gemini too. Nitpicky, you know. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink of water. Anyways, yeah. And there's something going on with Pluto and Jupiter too. I mean to look this stuff up ahead of time, but I never do. I'm not sure what that's called. And then Pluto and Uranus, it's kind of out of orb there. But I would say Uranus is trining Jupiter. So there's a lot of action pointing over at this Jupiter too. I would say probably not the full moon to the Uranus. That's like 8 degrees, but Jupiter's sitting right in the middle there. So Jupiter's trining Uranus, Jupiter's trining the moon. Uranus is also trining Pallas. You know, that's brilliance, flashes of brilliance and insight, I think, and you could use that anyway. Like, you could use it as spiritual growth. You could have some big moment and some big realization, or it could be, you know, I feel another thing, problem solving, whatever your problem might be. If it's global problems, you know, if it's wars in countries and stuff, maybe we could come up with something. Or if it's problems, you know, fire is action. Fire is doing, is action. It's not really all about contemplation. It's about getting out there and doing things. And Uranus in Aries is doing things in a new way. In a new way, altogether new. Aries is new, Uranus is new. Breaking free of the old. Like, I'm feeling like problems could be solved. I don't know why I want to say this of irrigation, which has nothing to do with fire whatsoever. But I'm just picking up something about, like, irrigation. And maybe countries that have issues with water or something. I mean, I know California has some issues going on too, but I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling like it's like third world countries that have issues with water. There's something about irrigation is coming through here real strong, so I'm not really sure why they're telling me that, but maybe it makes sense to somebody. And whenever I get stuff, I spit it out. You know, I don't second guess myself. I'm way past that. If I get it out, it comes out the mouth. And that's a Sag trait too, come to think of it. That's one of the things about Sagittarius. A lot of times they're just real blunt. They just blurt it out. And I'm not being blunt like in that way. I'm just getting like streaming, you know, consciousness or whatever comes in my head through my guides or whatever's going on here. I don't even know. I don't even have to know. But anyway, back to the reading. But Sagittarius can be like that. And that's what I said before, you know, think before you speak. Think, Gemini, before you blurt something out like a Sag might do. You know, Sag is travel, so travel plans could be put to use or whatever, although Mercury's still retrograding now, you know, and with, maybe it's not the best time to go on a trip or travel. Where is that Mercury at anyway? Oh, all right, up here by the sun. Yeah, it's up here by the sun. So, and the sun is in Gemini, so there's a heavy Gemini energy going on, even though the moon is in Sag, obviously. Yeah, so think before you speak. Don't blurt things out. I feel like there could really be some big time enlightenments happening here, and it could, like I said, it could be an invention. It could be within your own personal life. With Chiron and Lilith, it could be these old wounds that all of a sudden we see things in a different light, you know. And forgiveness. Forgiveness is always the way out of these old things that we carry around all the time. You know, with that Chiron Lilith too, I'm looking here, and Venus is trining it and then sextiling over here. So trining, and then Scorpio, there's nothing. Well, I think you would be affected if you had something in the 20 degrees of Scorpio. Oh, gosh, I hate when that happens. Sorry about that. Cancel. Go away. Okay, Mercury retrograde. Anyways, yeah, so Venus 27 Cancer, Vesta 28 Pisces, and Chiron over here 21 there. So if you have something in the 20s, Scorpio, down here it would be actually, that could be really being triggered or ticked off here, or you know, it's happening here. But Venus at 27 Cancer, I want to look at that for a minute. Trining Vesta. These are both Cancer is mother, nurturing food. Vesta is nurturing mother, food. I think Vesta may end up being the true ruler of Virgo at some point here. But anyways, but it's very much about food, nurturing, taking care of people, healing. Very much the energy of these two together. Venus with this 20, for a lot of us this could be our mother's stuff, you know. This could be something coming up about motherhood with 27. 27 is getting up there too, to that karmic degree. So these are not things of light heart. These are deep things. These are things that span many incarnations, many lifetimes with the higher degrees and in Cancer. And if it isn't your mother, maybe it could have been. You know, maybe this person is your lover or partner in this life, but in another life you were their mother, they were your mother. I mean, this kind of stuff. That's a lot of what that could imply. And the Vesta, also because Vesta to me is so, it's got that ancient vibe to it. I mean, I guess they all do, but Vesta is one of the, you know, the ancient gods or goddesses or whatever. It's back in those times, you know, back in the times of the Greek and Roman stuff, you know, and so these lifetimes that could be triggered back from those days, you know, there could be stuff coming up like that, and finishing up of these karmic things. I mean, Vesta's at 28:30, so it's about to be 29 any second here, you know, maybe even later that day it'll be 29, so there's 29s. Saturn is, well actually Saturn is trining that, now that you think about it. Saturn's going to bring retrograde, it's going to go down to 29 Scorpio. With Vesta, Venus, Saturn. So yeah, I guess that's an orb. I tend to overlook that because it's still in Sag, but yeah, it's only 1 degree out. Yeah, so there is a grand trine, sort of in water. One thing is in fire still. But yeah, Saturn, again, the karmic, was past lives at that critical degree of the 29. So people showing up that with past life connections big time. Venus that you may have been lovers with, may have been Cancer, may have been in families with, may have been your mother or your sister in another lifetime, or maybe you were the mother of them. So this kind of stuff is all going on. And with the Sag too, all this energy, it's like veils. The veil is thin, and Neptune can bring that about too. The veil could be very thin between this reality and other realities, whether they're past lives or whether they're, you know, there's all sorts of other realities that potentially could be going on around here, right? Okay, so yeah, there's a lot. It's intense. There's all these squares here too. Oh, it's just that square to that Pisces stuff, and then this is squaring. Okay, yeah, we talked about that. There's a big T-square going on. All goes over to Pisces. Pisces also, I mean, yeah, it's music, film, creativity. There's a lot of good things, and it's drug addiction on the negative side too. But it's totally, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It rules the 12th house in the flat wheel, which is, in karmic astrology, you know, when you have a lot of placements in your 12th house, this is stuff that you've been working on over many incarnations. Again, there's this element of the old soul. Pisces are always old souls. You know, so there's this element of these remembrances or these dealings with, you know, things that have been going on well beyond this linear lifetime that we're in right now. That there's a mystical quality and a deepness and an oldness of it that goes way back. And that's, you know, sometimes that'll be, I said that in the past life video, the one, you know, sometimes when you meet somebody, you'll be like, yeah, I've done this. I'd be like, didn't I go to school with you? You know, you feel like, you know, I knew him from somewhere way back, but you can't really place it. And they're like, no, I didn't go to that school. You know, I never lived in this state, you know, whatever. That's the past life stuff. That's this inkling, this remembrance of these past life connections. And a lot of this could be, you know, showing up here now, you know. And the difference between Mercury and Sag, too, is like, you know, getting out of your ego mind, your busyness, what do you call it? You know, your reptilian brain mind up here, and going further, taking it deeper, taking it to a higher level, seeing beyond everything that's right here, right now, in your neighborhood, right around you right now. You know, there's a whole wide world out there, and there's a whole wide, who knows what's out there, you know, multiverse, who knows, you know, it's deep. It could be really deep. And I think a lot of this friction is going to have to do with where you're at. And it's not as to say, oh, I hate when people are always like, well, I'm so ahead of you. I shouldn't say I hate that, but it just rubs me the wrong way when it's a competition, you know, like I'm more advanced than you are, you know, or something like that. Because we all have times when we're really deep and we have these profound moments, and then we all have times when we get aggravated over stupid stuff, you know. Nobody, if you're here on planet Earth, you're not all that advanced, you know. You're here with the rest of us, doing time on planet Earth, baby. So, you know, and it fluctuates. You know, nobody's in a constant state of enlightenment, and you have to be in this world to get around in it. You have to go drive your car, you have to do stuff. You know, you can't always be off on a cloud somewhere. So we all have moments of both things. But this is like, this could be some deep stuff coming to lots of people. And it may be aggravating. You know, it may rub against where you're at that particular moment of that particular day. That's more what it's about. It's not always like your soul's evolution. It's more about, yeah, this day I'm feeling really spiritual and aware, and today I'm aggravated because I got to go do errands and do my stuff, you know. And we live in this world, and that's all part of it, you know. So everybody's here, you know. There's all multitudes of reasons why we're all here too, and that'll show up in your personal chart. You know, we can always look at that. But anyways, lots of karmic stuff showing up, I feel. Saturn's involved, the nodes are involved. And if you find yourself aggravated, maybe it's time to just step away from this Gemini kind of energy and just be like, well, you know, what is the higher purpose? What is the lesson here? A lot of times that's all it takes, just to step back. Don't feed the beast. Don't keep, you know, running over in your mind, aggravating yourself. You know, well, what is this trying to show me in my own life? What is this reflecting back to me in my own life that I'm doing? What do I need to learn from this? The quicker you do that, the quicker you can get away from it and move on. You know, I think it's all up to you how long you want to fester in it. It's really up to you. But I think opportunities for great enlightenment, great breakthroughs with ideas and scientific findings and agriculture and creativity. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that could come forth from this too. One last thing too, it's sextiling Ceres, which is also that goddess of the grain, ties into the food. I'm picking up agriculture real strong. I forget what I said earlier. Irrigation, did I say, or something like that? Yes, I'm picking up like crops and irrigation and food and stuff like that. So maybe that does tie in somehow. Anyways, we're going to run out of time here soon. So there's some food of thought, stuff to chew on, stuff to think about. Before we go, I want to let y'all know, here's my main channel. I try to put stuff below the videos because I know sometimes on mobile devices it might be hard to get to my channel. So usually under the videos I have all the stuff listed, but if you're on the computer, go home, videos, playlist, channels, discussions about, lists everything. If you like the astrology mandalas, I have these prints available that I've done for each sign. Each one is available in black and white background, available on Fine Art America. I also have my own animal totem deck that's available, and a tarot book that I've written that is on Amazon. There it is, Tarot in the Modern World. And if you're trying to get a reading or get a hold of me, it's all on this Mandala site for now. I gotta get in there and do more, but this is where it all is for the time being. So, and if on this video there should be like a link, maybe goods and services or something I usually say. And there's all sorts, you scroll still down, here's the readings. There's other things that are available, the mandalas and whatnot. The different readings that I offer, and at the bottom make a donation. This is to donate through PayPal, so if you like these free videos, I really appreciate you donating. But I'm also trying a new thing with Google Wallet, and that's going to be on one of these little card things that you'll see up in the corner of the video. So if you like these free videos, you can make a donation. I really appreciate it. I want to thank you all for liking, donating, watching, commenting, sharing, Google Plusing, everything, all your support that you give to my channel and to these videos. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate, and I'll speak to you soon.